Well, I know that sounds kind of like a loaded statement, right? And maybe yours is different, but the swim jig, for me, locates bass better than any other lure that I use. And maybe it's just my confidence lure as far as location, but here's why. Finding fish is so important. Even with the top electronics on the market today, we still want fish to reveal themselves when they're buried up in vegetation, buried down in a brush pile, tucked up underneath a suspended dock. There are lures that do a good job of getting them to reveal themselves. It's a bonus if we catch them. But there's a lot of times where I just want to know where they're at, how they're positioned, and there may be another lure that I use that might be better for the situation. The swim jig for me does that. I get so many times where I'll pull that bass out of the weeds. They'll sneak out from the corner of that dock, they'll pull up out of that brush pile and follow, take a look, and it just gives me so much information. Now, obviously, if you have a really dirty water fishery, heavily stained water, this is not as easy as a tactic or technique as when you can see some depth, okay? Obviously, having a good pair of sunglasses is really critically important as well. And the reason that I firmly believe that the swim jig does this better than any other lure is because it presents that easy meal. It presents a bait fish, a panfish, whatever, swimming through the water column that just cannot be ignored. Even if they don't come up and eat it, they're curious and they want to see what is going on. Myself, I'm a huge fan of the Rage Menace twin tail grub trailer. I also use the Rage craw trailer quite a bit. But there are so many good trailers that you can put behind this, okay? So whatever one, matches your confidence, what you have the most confidence in, that is what I would go ahead and pair up and match up. But the swim jig, it just gets it done because I can cover so much of the water column with it. Okay, without retying, I can speed it up, slow it down. If I want, I can go ahead and let it drop like a traditional jig into some sort of cover. Not as good as a flipping jig, obviously, but I do have that option. And I just know, absolutely know, that there's a good chance I'm going to catch the fish, but I'm going to figure out how they are sitting. And as a bass angler, that minute-to-minute information is so critically important. You may be thinking, what's your number two? Well, then I'm probably going to have to go with a suspending jerkbait that can call fish from such a distance. And hey, if you'd like to watch a video on the Alabama Shake, just another way to present a swim jig, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.